Imagine standing on a coastline looking out at the endless ocean. What secrets does it hold? What lost worlds are hidden beneath its waves? Well, today we're diving deep, literally, into a discovery that could rewrite history. Off the coast of Brittany in France, a team of archaeologists has found something absolutely mind-blowing, a massive, ancient wall submerged under the sea. This isn't just any old pile of rocks. This is a sophisticated structure, a testament to a coastal society that thrived more than 7,000 years ago. Picture this. It's 5800 BCE. The Great Pyramids of Giza are still thousands of years in the future. Stonehenge hasn't even been thought of yet. But here, near what is now the undersea, a community of people was quarrying massive granite blocks and building a monumental wall. What we're talking about is a structure that stretches for at least 167 meters, made of granite blocks carefully placed to create a barrier. This wall, now resting several meters beneath the surface of the Bay of Audierne, is a silent witness to a time when sea levels were much, much lower. The team that made this incredible find, led by researchers from the French National Center for Scientific Research, or CNRS, used a combination of high-tech sonar and on-site diving expeditions. They weren't just looking for random stones. They were piecing together a puzzle that had been submerged for millennia. What they uncovered wasn't just the main wall. They also identified at least a dozen smaller, related constructions. These smaller structures, arranged in a deliberate pattern, suggest a complex and organized settlement. It's like finding the foundations of an ancient village perfectly preserved by the sea. So why build such a massive wall? The leading theory is that it was a defensive structure, but not against human invaders. It was built to hold back the sea itself. During this period, known as the Mesolithic or Middle Stone Age, the Earth was coming out of the last ice age. Glaciers were melting at an astonishing rate, causing sea levels to rise dramatically. For the people living on these coastal plains, the encroaching ocean was a constant, terrifying threat. This wall was their last stand, a desperate attempt to protect their homes, their hunting grounds, and their way of life from the relentless advance of the water. Think about the sheer effort involved. These were hunter-gatherer societies. They didn't have heavy machinery or advanced engineering tools. They were quarrying and moving granite blocks, some of them quite large, using their own strength and ingenuity. This tells us that they were far more sophisticated and organized than we often give them credit for. Building something on this scale requires planning, coordination, and a deep understanding of their environment. It shows a level of social cohesion and collective action that is truly remarkable for that era. The discovery site, known as the Bay of Audierne, was once a sprawling coastal plain. It would have been a rich and fertile land teeming with wildlife. For the Mesolithic people who lived there, it was paradise. They would have hunted deer and wild boar in the forest, fished in the rivers, and gathered shellfish along the shore. But as the seas rose, this paradise began to shrink. The wall represents a critical moment in their history, a point where they decided to fight back against the forces of nature. What's also fascinating is how the wall was constructed. The archaeologists noted that the granite blocks were specifically chosen and placed. It wasn't a random heap of stones. It was an engineered structure. Some sections are more robust than others, suggesting they were reinforcing areas that were more vulnerable to the waves. This level of detail provides a unique window into the minds of these ancient builders. They weren't just reacting to a problem. They were actively trying to solve it with the best technology they had. Of course, in the end, the sea won. The wall was eventually breached and submerged, and the people who built it were forced to abandon their homes and move inland. Their story became a forgotten memory, lost to time until now. This discovery is so important because it gives a voice to these lost communities. It reminds us that our ancestors were not just passive victims of environmental change. They were resilient, innovative, and capable of incredible feats of engineering. This find off the coast of Brittany is part of a growing field of underwater archaeology that is revealing a hidden chapter of human history. All around the world, from the North Sea to the coast of India, researchers are finding evidence of submerged prehistoric landscapes. These places, sometimes called drowned worlds, were once home to thriving populations. Exploring them is like opening a time capsule. Because they were sealed by the sea, the preservation is often incredible. Organic materials like wood, which would have rotted away on land, can survive for thousands of years underwater. The team in France plans to continue their research in the Bay of Audierne. They believe there is much more to be found. The main wall is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. They hope to find more evidence of dwellings, tools, and perhaps even the remains of the people themselves. Each new discovery will add another layer to our understanding of this sophisticated coastal society. It could tell us more about their daily lives, their beliefs, and their ultimate fate. This story is also a powerful reminder of the impact of climate change, both past and present. The people of 5800 BCE faced a rising sea caused by natural global warming. Today, we face a similar threat, but this time it's driven by human activity. The struggles of this ancient community resonate with our own challenges. It shows us that coastlines have always been dynamic and that human societies have always had to adapt to a changing world. The difference is, we have the scientific knowledge to understand what is happening and, hopefully, the wisdom to act before our own coastal cities are lost beneath the waves. It's just incredible to think that for over 7,000 years, this monumental structure lay hidden, waiting to be discovered. It's a story of ingenuity, of struggle, and of the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming odds. It challenges our perceptions of the Stone Age and reveals a world that was far more complex and dynamic than we ever imagined. What other secrets are waiting in the deep? What other lost worlds will we uncover? The ocean is the world's largest museum, and it seems it's only just beginning to reveal its treasures. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the past. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the mysteries of history and archaeology. Let me know in the comments what you think about this incredible discovery. Until next time, keep exploring.